Hey, what's up everybody? We're down here at Brooks Falls on the New River. Get a shot of these falls for you. The water's up quite a bit. I don't know what level it's running at, but it's up. Get a shot of my rig here. The Old Town Appalachian up top. It's windy here. I'm having a tall cloud, so got some track racks. Scored them off Craigslist. The Old Town Appalachian up top. Bike mounts mounted up. Get a shot of the Niner here real quick. So here it is. We're going to walk downstream to the overlook. This is a class 3, and normally when you see it at normal river levels, it's not terribly intimidating looking, although it is pretty long. Right now, with the water being up, it's definitely a class 3, but I'm going to show you why it's a class 3 on any given day. We're going to walk down here, a little overlook, and get a shot of the big hole. Normally you wouldn't be able to see this much of it because of the leaves on the trees. We're here in, it's March 25th. We got some spring water. Of course, summer levels are obviously a little bit lower. All right, I'm gonna start talking loud because I'm probably gonna have a hard time picking this up, but this is the big hole. You see the ledge running the full length of the river. And here's the big drop on the left side. I don't know if the video is gonna do it any justice, but it is a big, nasty hole here. We will not be going over this in the canoe. We'll be doing some fishing upstream from here. I do not want to run this. There it is, guys. Brooks Falls. Good shot of the ledge. Full width of the river. Alright, so what we're doing is put in on the Greenbrier. We're about, I believe about 3 or 4 miles from the confluence of the Greenbrier and the New. And we got some pretty fast moving spring water. Waited till 1 o'clock this afternoon to get out because I believe right now it's about 63 degrees, sunny, partly cloudy. It's going to be a pretty nice day. We're going to do some fishing. We got a couple rapids we're going to hit up here on the Greenbrier, a couple we're going to hit up here on the New. That'll be a pretty good day. Alright, we got a little class 2, maybe a small class 3 coming up. Hopefully the camera's picking up some of the sound off of it. We're going to negotiate this one right down the middle. Keep fishing the other side. Not too bad. Got a little bit of water in the boat. A quick splash over the front in that first hole. A good ride there. Alright, we're coming up on another rapid here. Still on the Greenbrier, lower Greenbrier. You can see that would-be gravel bar off to the right. I saw that coming up actually around this turn, so I knew I was coming up on a rapid. Anytime the river either shallows or narrows, water is going to pick up speed, and usually some kind of a rapid is created. So this is another little class 2 guy. Shouldn't be a problem. And we'll pick it up and see if we can get a shot on the other side. All right, we finally got a chance to let our guard down. About got swamped in a rapid up on the Greenbrier. It kind of caught me by surprise, really. It was came up on a really big class 2. I don't know, probably not class 3 water, but still snuck up on me. I wasn't really ready for it. Swamped a couple gallons of water in the boat, and got through it all right, no problem. But I've just been on my toes all day, man. I've hardly even been able to fish much, but Finally got a stretch of water I can relax in here before we get into some more chop up here on the other side of this bridge. The wind has been really bad today. It's pushed me downstream. I covered probably 4 or 5 miles in about an hour and a half. I mean, just flying. The river changed course, and the wind was then pushing me off to the left, and it was really hard to keep the boat off the bank. You know, weather's perfect though. I'm not really complaining, but I haven't caught any fish yet, and so hopefully we'll get to make a few casts down through this stretch, and I can kind of relax a little bit, drink some of these beers. Whatever, Sierra Nevada. But yeah, we had to stop and found a milk jug on the side of on the bank, and to cut it up, make an improvised bailing bucket out of it to bail about 2 gallons of water out of this thing that we took on that last rapid. We've got one more good-sized rapid coming up. It's the last thing that we go through before we get back to the camp. So, kind of an island right here. I came down both sides of it. Came down this side today, but it's a completely different body of water down here with the water up a few feet. You know, a lot of the holes that you cast at, the eddy pockets and everything that you're looking for, you know, they're all submerged. You can't see anything. I've not scraped on any rocks yet. So normally on the other side of this bridge, it's really zigzag, you know, tricky paddle down through there, just avoiding all the rocks in the shallow water. It's so shallow that at any point you can just hop out of the boat. You mess up, anything goes wrong, like I said, you just jump out, stand up. But that last hole I went through, man, it's having a real hard time keeping the boat going in a straight line. This Old Town Appalachian, man, it sits way out of the water. It's incredibly buoyant, and it displaces a lot of weight. So it'll float in about, even with me and some gear, it'll float in about 2 or 3 inches of water. And what that causes is, especially where it's rockered heavily, you got a lot of boats sticking out of the water, man, and it just catches wind like crazy. I was coming through that last rapid, and the wind was just taking me to one side. I was just trying to stay squared up to the water, and man, I was having a time. And my heart was pounding when I got through it. It was fun though. So we got some lookers up here on the road. But like I said, we got one more big hole to go through, and then other than that, it ought to be pretty smooth sailing for the rest of the trip. Just need to catch some fish. All right, here's our next section of chop. This one's long, man. I mean, it's probably a 1/4 mile. Normally this is really rocky, and it's something that you have to zigzag through. So I don't know how it's going to be today. I don't know if some of the rocks that would normally be exposed are going to cause us some problems or not. It's not big water. This is just some small class 1 stuff. But we'll have to get through it and find out. All right, we made it. Made it over here and caught my breath. Had some hard work getting here. So I finally found an exposed rock here. I've been looking for somewhere out here in the middle to beach up the boat and get out. Right over here, the damn boat's blowing away. Oh God, this wind's wearing me out. Getting this boat situated. I'll lose it on camera. See me swimming after it. Okay, so right over here, right there, under my finger, there's an eddy over there, and I saw it coming and got into it. It wasn't too bad because I spotted it from back in here a little bit. And then I saw this exposed rock I've been looking for all day. I was able to ferry across to here. Of course, I came out in this eddy all the way in the back. Fought like hell to get it to here. But we're here. This rock is incredibly slippery, so we got the canoe just kind of beached up on it. It's just kind of teetering. So we came through this. It wasn't bad. It's just I wanted to get a video all day of me holding the camera while I was coming through one of these rapids, but man, it's just all the rocks, like I said, that are normally exposed are just barely underwater, about like what I'm in right now. So there's nothing crazy. It just demands a lot of attention in a canoe. If I was in a raft, it would be a different story. But what we got here, normally I would just kind of be beaching up on these rocks, you know, 6 or 8 times through this one eddy, and kind of doing some wade fishing, kind of hopping rock to rock. But man, with the water being up like it is, this spring water, it's probably not a good idea. Another thing, when you're coming through this stuff, with the water being up, you just never know how deep it is. Normally, you know, you could just jump out of the boat if you get hung up on a rock or something, but now you just don't know. And honestly, if you're in much more than about 2 feet of water anyways, as fast as this stuff is moving, it would be a bad idea. So you better off just to hang on and stay in the boat as best as you can. But then we're going to try to put back down the rest of this rapid, and I'm really hoping to get a few casts in between now and the end, but I'm probably going to have to wait till the back end of it. So have to get back in the boat, finish this one off. We've got one more rapid coming up, and I'm trying to walk and not take a spill here, but get a shot of the boat, man. It's been a tough paddle. The wind's been hell today. It's been pushing me off to one side or another. It's been at my back and pushing me way downstream. I've been making some crazy fast time today. It's only 4 o'clock. At one point I took a 30-minute break. I've just really been moving a lot faster than I thought. I was thinking that I wasn't going to finish up till probably 6 o'clock this evening, and you know, it's probably going to be 4 or 5. So it's been a good day, man. The weather is just amazing. The cloud covers broke up. It's probably close to 70 degrees. It's just amazing. The water's freezing cold. My feet are freezing. But it's been a good day, man. Great day on the water. So we're going to finish this one up, finish this rapid up, and see if we can get some footage right at the end of the next one coming up. So we're going to have a beer break after this one and finish the float back to the camp. All right, everybody, here it is. This is our last section of chop. It has a nice little drop on the end of it. Let's see if I can step out here without busting my ass, which I managed to not do today. We just got some good class 2 water. Man, I've been in it for the last 20 minutes. It's just probably at least one drop, and it's probably the better part of a mile long. Sorry, the wind and the water, I should probably be talking louder into the camera, but you can see we got a little bend coming up off to the left, and that's where the final drop is. We've probably got another mile of this chop to go, but it's still a beautiful day. I've not had any problems at all with bottoming out, anything like that. I've had a couple of navigational issues, but that's been due to the wind. And the buoyancy of this boat, this Old Town Appalachian, is just incredibly buoyant. It'll sit in about 3 inches of water, which basically means that, especially with the heavily rockered ends, it means that there's a lot of material above the water to catch wind. And buoyant as it ever, man, it catches wind like a sail sometimes. And really the only problems that I've had have been navigating that one big class 2 that caused me a little bit of problems because the wind was trying to push me off to the left, and I was trying to stay squared up to the current, so it was pretty hairy, but a lot of fun though. We're about done, man. We're probably half a mile from the camp. Probably have another quarter mile in this drop here, and I wish that I could have gotten some footage from the middle of the river, floating through some stuff like this. And in the summertime, I probably could have. But man, today, with the speed of the water, and I'm in a canoe, and man, it's just not a good idea. But hopefully, you guys will be watching this. going to try to get through this last drop, and I'm going to try and eddy out to the left, and I'm going to try and get a good shot of the last drop of the day. All right, we're through it. You know, they say you learn something every day, whether you realize it or not. And today I learned quite a bit. I've paddled this stretch at moderate summer levels, and also paddled this at a level that was much higher than this several years ago in a boat that was not adequate. And my wife and I actually swamped it right about there and floated through this, swam the boat to the shore somewhere down there. Like I said, equipment is half the battle. We're in an inadequate boat, and today we were in an adequate boat. We had a good time. We're enjoying our last Sierra Nevada of the day. I said last Sierra Nevada, not last beer. You know, we're coming there. So, what did I learn today? Well, in this particular water level, I found that the smaller blade paddle, which this is actually just kind of your standard whitewater rafting paddle. If you've ever been whitewater rafting, you've held a paddle almost exactly like this in your hand. The Norse is the Big Norse. I call it Big Norse, and it's a real Norse paddle from Norse Paddle Company. But you can see the size of the blade. This boat is incredibly mobile because of the rocker that's designed into it. And man, that Big Norse it's a great steering tool, but it's actually not a very good paddle for these conditions, because obviously you want to get the boat moving faster than the current. That's the key to getting through most of these, rapids and things. And the problem I was having with the Norse is that it was turning the boat too much one way or another, and I wasn't able to get enough forward momentum. Or with the Small or with the Carlisle, I was able to keep it in real nice and tight, squared up, and get nice long strokes for some good forward momentum. Yeah, long strokes, you heard me. So I was able to long stroke it with that Carlisle, and man, it actually was better when I needed the momentum to get me through some of these big rollers. So that's what I learned today. The Big Norse is good. Any other time, that's generally my weapon of choice with this boat, because I love the mobility of it. It turns on a dime, and the Norse is, like I said, it's the one I picked. But today, I always bring 2 paddles. If you're even considering getting into canoeing at all, always, especially if you're solo, obviously. If you're tandem, always going to have 2 paddles. But if you're solo, bring 2 paddles, man, because you just never know. You swamp your boat, man, by the time you get back in it, you do good to recover any paddle. So 2 paddles, you have twice as much recovery option. So here it is. And actually this particular drop was easier today. This particular one, normally in the summer, that right there is about an 18-inch drop, and you have to kind of hit the channel right over here to kind of shoot through it. It's the best way. You can go over the drop. In this boat, you can go over the drop, but it's better to come this way. Today, it's not much of a drop at all. Had a harder time up there, but this still wasn't bad. Even though this looks worse than the big class 2 up on the Greenbrier, that one caused me the most trouble of the day. Man, it was it was tough. I mean, never got out of control or anything, but I was just that's where I learned the lesson with that Norse paddle. I was trying to keep my speed through there, and that Norse, every time I stuck it in the water, it was just one way or another. My J stroke was overcorrecting, my forward stroke was too much. It was just, I had a time, man. So that's what I learned today. Had a great time. Weather is absolutely phenomenal It's probably 67, 68 degrees. Yeah, the water's cold, but you know, I stayed in the boat all day. Well, I got out of the boat a few times, but what I mean by that is I didn't swamp it. So anytime you don't swamp it on the New River, it's a good day. As far as the fishing goes, well, I love to fish, but I never claimed to be much of a fisherman. Man, I just couldn't get them to bite. The water conditions were tough for fishing today, man. I lost 2 spinnerbaits with the wind. God, the wind was killing me today. I just couldn't get a lot of the traditional methods to work for me today. With the wind and having to just constantly pay attention to where the boat was and which way the boat was going, I didn't make nearly as many casts as I wanted to, and but that's okay. After I lost that last spinnerbait, I just hung it up, and that was right before I got into this big ripple. Man, this ripple is, my God, I mean, it's the better part of a mile long. I've been in this thing for well over 20 minutes probably, and I just decided that today, given the conditions, would be a perfect day to kind of work on my boat handling skills, and I learned a lot, had a good time, drank some beer, got some sun, and I'm telling you, man, I just don't think it could get much better than this on a day on the river without catching a fish. So hope everybody enjoys this, and maybe I'll motivate some of y'all to get out and do some paddling yourself. So until next time, thanks for watching. Everybody get outside.